Sunday on ESPN from the American Airlines Center. Dan Schulman in Dorisburg. Glad you're with us. And the Dallas Mavericks and their fans glad that Dirk Nowitzki is back in the lineup. Tony Parker on a tear over the last 10 games, averaging about 21 points per game and 9 assists per game. Leading the Spurs in the absence of the injured Manu Ginobili. With Tim Duncan's numbers down, these two proud franchises, Doris, they are still finding a way to get it done, even though they've had some changes, some injuries, some adversity to deal with. A look at the starting lineup tonight for San Antonio. Tony Parker along with the rookie Kawhi Leonard in the backcourt, Richard Jefferson, Tim Duncan, and DeJuan Blair up front. For Dallas, Dirk is back. Jason Kidd is out at least another week with a calf injury. Delonte West is expected to play but isn't starting tonight. Roderick Beaubois, who had a big game Friday against Utah, is out there along with Vince Carter. Sean Marion playing great. Dirk Nowitzki, and then Brendan Haywood is starting in the middle. These two teams met earlier in the season in San Antonio, and the Spurs blew out the Mavericks 93-71. San Antonio made 16 threes in the game. Dallas made 1.
Remember, they're great teams that made so many corner threes. Bruce Bowen lining it up in their championship seasons. This feels similar to that group that can make those kinds of shots.
Both teams 12-8. We'll keep an early eye on how Dirk Nowitzki looks. He's got a wrap on his right knee, back after missing 4 games to strengthen the knee. Game time decision. He's in the lineup for Dallas. Great matchup between Parker and Beaubois. Parker called Beaubois kind of like a little brother. Beaubois is expected to play for France in the Olympics this summer, as is Parker. They know each other well, but it's all business on the court tonight. Duncan with a running hook, a little bit short. Rebound down to Marion, lost out of bounds, back to San Antonio. Sean Marion has been playing some great basketball, knocking down threes, scoring the ball, and his typical good defense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the defense never left. He's been tremendous. Length, athleticism, now just making shots again.
Drawing the assignment of Richard Jefferson, who's knocking down a lot of threes this year. Now back into the hands of Parker. Parker the kick, wide open. Duncan for an 18-footer.
That is the low pick and roll that has given the Mavs fits over the years. They're running that free throw line area, and Parker just so good at getting below the free throw line, whether to score himself in or to set somebody else. And
Tony Parker thinks that maybe only Stockton and Malone have run more pick and rolls together in NBA history than he and Tim Duncan. And he's probably right. Marion for 3. We mentioned he's been taking more. He only made 8 threes his last 2 years. He's got 10 this year, including 4 in a game against Phoenix last week. It may not look pretty, but he's knocking them down with some regularity. Leonard, the rookie out of San Diego State. Good defender, rebounder. Duncan is open again. Nowitzki down with a rebound. Vince Carter back from a foot injury that cost him 5 games. Dallas had a lot of guys in and out of the lineup. Carter, Kidd, Nowitzki, rebound Jefferson. Leonard inside the arc. He'll bury it.
I like this guy. He's got tremendous size, great hands, can make those kinds of shots, and you know he comes from a program that valued the basketball under Steve Fisher, and that will always make Pop happy. 15th overall pick acquired in a draft day deal with Indiana. Saw George Hill go the other way, a player that Greg Popovich was very fond of. Good start on the road here for the Spurs. They're just 2-7 away from home so far this season. Fade away by Leonard. Tough shot. Good D by Carter. Here come the Mavs. Beaubois, 22 points against Utah Friday night. They need him right now with Kidd injured. Beaubois, a pretty big factor a couple of years ago. Haywood to Marion. And an air ball way long from the corner. Kind of a half grimace, half smirk as he makes his way back down on D. For Blair, 6'7" maybe, and playing the center position, defended by Nowitzki, still San Antonio ball.
Big differences we mentioned home and away for the Spurs. 10-1 at home, only 2-7 on the road. Across the numbers, Doris, huge differences for them.
Well, you have some exciting moments with young guys, including Kawhi Leonard, who had a tough fourth quarter against Houston. So younger guys trying to finish games is a new experience for the Spurs.
Dallas scoreless more than 3 minutes into the game. Poked away by Blair. Beaubois looking for Nowitzki. Now Beaubois from the corner hits the jumper.
Well, there's never, listen, the guy has talent. I think, you know, injuries have slowed his development, and he hasn't been as consistent as they want, but as Rick Carlisle will tell you, he's got ability on the offensive end.
Parker the jumper. And the rebound down to Haywood, splitting minutes in the middle for Dallas with a former Spur, Jan Mahimi, who's playing very well. Of course, Tyson Chandler now playing for the Knicks. Beaubois with a great burst of speed, but he misses the elbow jumper. We got some quickness in this game tonight. Roderick Beaubois, Tony Parker will see the jet. Jason Terry coming in soon. Well, Duncan wasn't expecting the pass. Off to Blair, who gets the roll.
But for a guy they questioned whether or not his knees would hold up in the NBA season, he's missed, what, one game in 2+ years? That's pretty good.
Vince Carter got it. Meanwhile, there's Jason Terry, his warm-up routine for the first 6 minutes of the game. As the Jet told us in our pregame interview, he's on the bike. He doesn't see warm-ups. He doesn't see the intros. He doesn't see the first 6 minutes. His MO is to get back to the bench in time for the first timeout in case Rick Carlisle wants him in the game. Here's more from the Jet.
Do you really want to know what I do the first 6 minutes? I'm actually back here on a stationary bike, pedaling away, getting fired up, focusing in. So I'm not on the bench. I don't see warm-ups. I'm actually in the back. Home or the road. I got about the 6-minute mark, first time out. I'll come in, the Jet engines are fired up, and I see Coach give me that look, and I'm ready to go.
An early timeout. He's off the bike. He's expecting to get into the game. He's making his way to the bench, which, by the way, he doesn't always get there in time, but he's there in time tonight. And it looks like the Mavericks need a little infusion from the Jet here early.
A mysterious island. Finding it was only the beginning.
No one's been home for thousands of years.
What was that? This island's about to go under.
On February 10th,
We have to go home.
the only way to escape
There is a solution hidden on the island.
is to solve the mystery of a lifetime.
So, who's up for an adventure? Let's do this!
I think I just made it worse.
Journey to the Mysterious Island. Rated PG. In theaters and IMAX 3D February 10th.
Papa John's, NFL, the Super Bowl, there's no better combination.
Papa John's is giving you any large pizza with your choice of any toppings for just $11. Even specialties, only $11. Order now at papajohns.com.
The inspiring story of how a shipping giant can befriend a forest may seem like the stuff of fairy tales. But if you take away the faces on the trees, take away the pixie dust, take away the singing animals, and the storybook narrator,
you're left with more electric trucks, more recycled shipping materials, and a growing number of low-emission planes, which still makes for a pretty enchanted tale. Oops, forgot one.
Sustainable solutions.
Bad car dealerships. But Sam Pack customers tell a different story.
Sam Pack's customer service was first class to me.
They don't have the high-pressure sales tactics that you experience at other places.
I felt the people here at Sam Pack were by far the most honest people I've ever dealt with when buying a car.
You can have fun and get a great deal at 5-Star Ford in Carrollton, North Richland Hills, or Plano, and Ford Country of Louisville. Open 24/7 at sampack.com.
Taking care of business.
We all know times are tough. That's why now is the perfect time to cash in your gold. Gold is at record-setting high prices, and Jewelry Manufacturers Exchange is paying top dollar for gold, platinum, and silver. You don't want to miss out on this incredible opportunity to cash in on your gold. JME will buy your fine jewelry items.
Marion asking for a screen. And the floater is there. Sean Marion.
Last 5 games, he has only his point total low, 14. I mean, he's just lighting it up.
Parker trying to work on Beaubois. Leonard to kick. Jefferson open for three. Short. Rebound Nowitzki. DIRK has yet to take a shot in this game. 5.5 minutes in. First game back after missing 4 to strengthen the knee. Beaubois from the elbow. And all of a sudden, Dallas is back to tie it on the strength of a 6-0 run. Parker trying to get inside. He does. Hangs. Had to alter the shot. Nowitzki another board. Beaubois turned the corner, said Rick Carlisle a couple of weeks ago with a game against Utah. Played very well again against the Jazz Friday night. Carter open again. This one won't go.
I think the only piece of advice you'd have for Mr. Beaubois is remember Dirk's on your team. I want to give him a touch on occasion.
Yeah. Feed the reigning finals MVP every now and again. Fade away by Tim Duncan.
So tough. It'd be so interesting over the course of the next several months to watch Coach Popovich monitor Tim's minutes. You know, his rule is basically he will not play, 4 games in 5 days. It will not happen.
And tonight is game 1 of such a stretch. 4 games in 5 nights. So Duncan figures to sit one for the next few days. Lamar Odom, Jason Terry coming in. Part of the highest scoring bench in the NBA. Terry, of course, is a big part of that. And Lamar Odom had probably his best game in a Dallas uniform Friday night.
Yeah, said he's got a little left in the tank. I think it's, he's got to get accustomed to the system. He's got to get over some things that occurred in the summer. The difficult emotional summer for him. We can document that as this game goes on. But for the Mavs, Rick Carlisle has said over and over again, we believe in him, and we're going to continue to support him.
Yeah, well, the Mavs just had one big problem. They had 6 players on the court. Finally, Sean Marion was ushered to the bench. 2 guys came in, and only 1 guy went out. And then Marion tried to sneak off the court. Gary Neal will check in for Kawhi Leonard as well. Tiago Splitter is in the game for San Antonio. Marion a little bit sheepishly making his way to the bench moments ago. Carter knocks down the 3. Vince Carter shooting the 3 at a 44% clip so far this year.
Just such a pretty form. I mean, I'll tell you this, the high-flying dunks not as often, but that jumper's still pure.
We've got a Carter-Richard Jefferson matchup 10 years ago. That's a whole different kind of matchup than it is right now. Now it's a couple of old grizzled 3-point shooters. Maybe grizzled's a little strong, but they can both still get to the rim every now and again. Carter's going to try. Count the basket. Some big league continuation there for Vince Carter.
He heard you. He thought you said great beard. He said, let me show you. Well, the up fake, and once he makes a couple jump shots, yeah, that's a long continuation, but the finger roll, George Gervin-esque, not quite as high as he used to be.
9 for Carter. He's almost at his average. 9.7 per game coming in. Off to a great start. Sometimes starting, sometimes off the bench, sometimes playing the 2, sometimes playing the 3. Neal still trying to bounce back from a preseason appendectomy. The nice kick to Jefferson, who answers with a 3 of his own.
He's worked really hard on that shot. I mean, just struggled early in his tenure with the Spurs, understanding where his shots would come from, but boy, he looks confident this year.
Carter again trying to use the screen, penetrating, shovels it off to Haywood, who lost it. Parker with a full head of steam, and Odom is called for the foul. First on Odom. And there comes Sean Marion getting ready to check back into the game, along with Delonte West, who has been out for Dallas with a hamstring injury. Tomorrow night, Big Monday features 2 college basketball games on ESPN. It begins with a backyard brawl, Pittsburgh and West Virginia. The Mountaineers still grumpy over the way that game ended up at Syracuse yesterday. Then number 2, Missouri's in Austin to take on Texas. That game is at 9. Big Monday presented by Bud Light.
What a job Frank Haith has done at Missouri. I think people question the move because of his tenure at Miami. And I'll say this, we talked about the San Antonio-Dallas rivalry. Pittsburgh, West Virginia.
Oh, boy.
It doesn't matter where that is, when it is. It's just like this matchup.
Yeah, backyard brawl might be an understatement when those 2 programs get together. Parker 1 of 2 to tie it at 16 here in the first quarter in Dallas.
Why do you think, Dan, that Parker's never mentioned among the elite point guards we talk about? Chris Paul, Darren Williams. Is it his locale?
It's a good question. That's one of the reasons he thinks so. But he said, you know what, I'm years past worrying about that kind of stuff. And he is having a terrific season this year. The miss by Yana Mahimi, the former Spur. Parker has really elevated his game since the injury to Manu Ginobili. Out with a broken bone in his hand, has missed a month, probably out a couple more weeks. Good ball movement. Matt Bonner, one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, and he hit 5 in a win earlier this season over Dallas. Delonte West misses the 16-footer. Dallas, a deep team, even with the injuries they've got. They can bring a lot of quality off the bench, and Greg Popovich is going to call a timeout. Maybe one of the topics of conversation will be, Doris, how do they slow down Vince Carter? It's not quite Vinsanity so far here tonight in Dallas, but he's off to a great start.
Played in your backyard at one point. He was a little bit more of a high flyer, but that jump shot's always been pretty. The ability to get to the rim. Welcome, Vince.
Don't miss out on Pizza Hut's $10 any deal. Now your favorite pizzas are just $10, whether you dine in, carry them out, or have them delivered. Any pizza, any size, any crust, any topping, just $10. Only for a limited time and only at your Pizza Hut.
Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker. And Tony's exactly right. Everybody thinks he's ancient. He's 29 years old. It's just that he was in the league so young. This is his 11th season in the NBA.
And guilt by association.
Yes. He's got to stop hanging out with those old guys. Corey Joseph, the rookie out of Texas, is into the game to take Parker's place right now, wearing number 5. West off to Terry. Terry, the pull-up, knocks it down. Dallas back on top. Neal the drive. All-rookie first team last year. Crowd wanted to travel. Jefferson misses the 3 and Odom down with a rebound for the Mavericks.
His percentage is drastically better when he shoots the corner 3 versus that 3.
Odom still trying to find his comfort zone, but a lot of signs that he's starting to come out of it, especially the game Friday night. West probing. 4 to shoot. Jumper over Joseph, no. Good rebound by Marion, and then misses the follow. Joseph getting minutes because of the injury to T.J. Ford, out with a torn hamstring. Joseph, the only true point guard on the roster other than Tony Parker right now, who's healthy. Splitter, much improved this year. Can't get Mahimi in the air. Bonner has missed his first 2 threes. Terry, yes, long 2 for the Jets.
You get a sense of why their bench is so good. I mean, this guy is, for his entire career, so comfortable coming off the bench. And that's, to me, not an easy job. Not everybody is suited the way he is to do it.
Three to shoot. Joseph, high arcing jumper over Odom as the shot clock was winding down. The Spurs have now missed their last 5 in a row. Marion flying into the bucket, follows it, and Mahimi is there on the 3rd opportunity.
You almost should give Sean Marion an assist on that, just keeping the basketball alive.
Dallas doing a number on the offensive glass, both Marion and Mahimi. Jefferson elevates and hits. Boy, Richard Jefferson, what a different player he is than in his first year in San Antonio. Really struggled, but he's found his niche.
Yeah, so I didn't know where my shots were coming from, how to get those shots. He's a different player, I think, than Pop expected when he got him.
Yep. Splitter called for the foul. Second on Splitter, and Jefferson will come out. Danny Green out of North Carolina will check into the game now for the Spurs. Green's become an important player, versatile, helping them out amidst some of the injuries as Dirk Nowitzki checks back in for Delonte West for Dallas, and that'll signal another change for San Antonio. Splitter out after the second foul. DeJuan Blair back in. Green at 6'6", guarding Odom, who's 6'11" right now, and the Mavericks go right to him. Just too easy. Taking advantage of the mismatch. Odom right now playing the 3. Didn't play that very much at all with the Lakers, but with Dirk at the 4, Odom's getting a lot of minutes at the 3. Joseph nearly turns it over. San Antonio fortunate to retain possession. And then an air ball.
You see, they go right back to Lamar. You got to believe they're going to put it in his hands.
Not a good finish here to the end of the first quarter for San Antonio. The Mavericks can hold for the final shot. Odom again. The kick. Nowitzki. And that's the end of the first quarter here in Dallas, with the Mavericks closing the quarter on an 8-2 run to break a tie and hold a 24-18 lead.
Well, Vince Carter got him started early. That jump shot is pure. He's gotten tremendous looks. And then the Jet comes off the bench, and as he said, the engines are fired up, and the scoring started right away.
There at the end of the first quarter. How concerned are you about that?
Well, I'm more concerned about not making the shots.
What about the second unit of Dallas? I mean, they're a potent bunch. What do you need out of your second unit when they're matched out there against them?
You got to score.
Thank you.
I would have panicked after the first one. I'm proud of you for getting the second one out.
Short and sweet, huh? Well, and you can understand why he's a little bit irritated. They did not play a very good closing few minutes in the first quarter. They're not knocking down shots. They gave up rebounds, and all of a sudden this got away from them a bit. Dallas is up by 6.
I got to be honest with you. There was one contested 3 out top that I thought was a bad shot, but they've had makeable shots.
And they're a good offensive team, although they have struggled a lot more away from home. Mahimi is fouled by Bonner. As we mentioned, and a lot of teams are like this. San Antonio's been a different team at home than they have been on the road. 10-1 at home, 2-7 on the road. They've got that rodeo road trip coming next week. It usually, obviously, relatively speaking, is much later in the season. But with the season starting later, they've got to do it in February. They've got a 9-gamer coming before you know it. Nowitzki, Blair trying to stay with him. Tough matchup. West elevates, banks it in. Nicely done by Delonte West.
When he's been in the lineup, he's been tremendous. I mean, as a ball-hawking guard, he puts tremendous pressure on. Rick Carlisle has been thrilled with his play. Adds a ton of toughness to this team.
You think about the backcourt, the options they have: Beaubois, Terry, West. Carter can play the 2 or the 3, and Jason Kidd is out with an injury. That's tremendous depth. Nowitzki takes the bump, misses the shot. Rebound Blair.
Arguably, maybe, never a year more important to have depth and maybe to have young legs.
Yes. Beaubois is going to be a big key for this team. Nowitzki 0 for 2 in his 9 minutes of action. Joseph into Blair. Gets the shot off, a little bit strong. Leonard in there for the offensive rebound. Kawhi Leonard is an outstanding rebounder for a player of his size. And you mentioned it, Doris. He's got huge hands. If he gets near the basketball, he's got it. And he's just got a nose for the ball as well. Joseph, and down for the rebound to Mahimi. A loose ball foul called on Leonard.
He'll compete. We talked a little bit earlier about the mistakes he made, Kawhi Leonard, down the stretch of their Houston game. That he passes up a shot, he turns it over in traffic. Kawhi Leonard, and everybody thought Pop would get into him. Pop said, I've had to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more encouraging, teach a little bit more. He just told him, hey, be confident, go make plays and make shots.
Tony Parker has returned for San Antonio. Jason Terry. And Dallas right now getting anything they want. San Antonio has missed 9 of its last 10 shots. See if Parker can give him a spark. Got inside for the scoop, left it short. Dallas ball. West. And Nowitzki, I don't know if Bonner tipped it into his own basket or if Nowitzki actually got a fingertip on it. They'll give it to Dirk. It's a 14-2 run for the Mavericks, and Greg Popovich needs a timeout.
Well, let's take a look. Is it Dirk? The jumper is soft on the backboard. How do you call that, play-by-play man? Let's see. Yeah, it's Dirk's fingertips. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, he needs to get started some way or another. Maybe that gets him off the schneid here.
A little English for Dirk, and the lead is a dozen for Dallas. It's the Thunder and the Mavericks, another great rivalry at 8 Eastern and then at 10:30 Eastern. The Clippers are in Salt Lake City to take on the Jazz. The NBA on ESPN, ESPN3, and also streaming live on WatchESPN.com.
I would have liked to have seen the end of that Miami Heat-Chicago game. A little bit of execution problems down the stretch again. You know, when Dwayne comes back in that first game, he gets 27, 9, and 8. And was tremendous, and LeBron still has 31, so they're trying to work out that dynamic. You think they're past that? It's going to be fascinating to watch that play.
Parker with a floater. Leonard in there again for another offensive rebound and putback. What a difference maker this guy is going to become just with the motor that he's got.
Well, you love his ability to rebound in traffic. I mean, he's stronger than he looks. His frame is so lean, but his timing is exceptional.
Jason Terry, beautiful layup. He's been one of the best 6 men in the NBA for years. Instant offense off the bench. Green inside, got it. Danny Green knocks one down.
A little better matchup for him too now, because he was checking Lamar and now he's checking Jason Terry. Although, you know what, one speed, one size, so neither one easy.
The Spurs actually let Green go last year. He's played overseas with Cleveland in the D-League, and Greg Popovich, as West misses the jumper, went so far as to call Green's college coach, Roy Williams, in North Carolina, and to try to find out a little bit more about him. And Roy Williams helped out, and they told Danny Green, hey, this is why we let you go. This is what you need to do. And Danny Green's come back and improved and harder working player this year.
Well, this league is no joke. And, you know, his attitude a little bit, in Pop's words, lackadaisical. That won't get it done. These men want your job, and you got to come every single night, be a professional. He's had to have a similar message for DeJuan Blair. So some youth not understanding the level of professionalism it takes.
Yeah, lackadaisical is not going to keep you around San Antonio very long. And Danny Green, an improved work ethic and much improved performance. And as Greg Popovich said, with the injury to Manu Ginobili, Green, I mean, he bailed them out of some games early this season, giving them a lot of good minutes at 3 different positions.
Yeah, he's played tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. And you know, some point guard, which we never saw him play at North Carolina. He wasn't that kind of guy, which I found fascinating.
And Duncan has returned now for San Antonio. Roderick Beaubois out there in the backcourt along with Jason Terry for Dallas. The Mavericks lead by 9. Nice interior feed to Jan Mahinmi.
How about his emergence? And that's huge because everybody slides up a spot. You know, Haywood becomes a starter, and you don't have that consistent person off the bench. Mahinmi's got to take Haywood's job.
Duncan, the kick to Green. Wide open 3, in and out.
Well, Jan Mahinmi, very long, very athletic, had a big moment in the finals a year ago. Big shot, I think it was game 6. Nice little move to the rim.
Again, drafted by San Antonio, spent 3 years with the Spurs. Terry, no. And the rebound down to Leonard. He's going to bring him up the floor. Duncan against his ex-teammate and draws the foul. We'll head to the free throw line. First on to Mahinmi. Duncan, again, the minutes a little bit down. Some career lows or near career lows in a number of categories. And again, as you said, Doris, it's a crazy season. So many games in so few days. And Greg Popovich monitored Duncan's minutes last year and the year before. He's going to try to do even a little bit more of it if he can this year.
You know what you love about Tim Duncan? And Tony Parker talked to us about this earlier today. Think back to David Robinson and how gracefully he let Tim Duncan take the reins and become the focal point of the organization. Duncan has done equally as gracefully in handing the reins to Manu Ginobili when he's healthy and Tony Parker now.
Missed them both. Jefferson the rebound. Duncan, he'll get his 2 points one way or the other.
Off the window. From that angle, it's the best shot. And if you're a young post player, that's the look you've got to have. Remember, I think Magic Johnson spent an entire summer working on that angle shot and using the window.
Green saves it, but Odom comes down with it for Dallas. Carter lost it, got it back, and somehow spun it in over his head with a reverse. Vince Carter with a dozen, off to a great start tonight. Leonard, that's the part of his game. That's the next step in the evolution of his game. It'll be Spurs ball.
A little Vinsanity, just a little bit different way to call it Vinsanity. The ball comes loose on the nice strip by Tim Duncan, a little English.
The 8-time All-Star. Playing well here tonight. Beaubois with a block on Parker. Rodrigue Beaubois. Odom steps into a three. Mahinmi had it, and it'll be Dallas ball. Again, the Mavericks getting on the offensive glass.
Just they feel faster to the ball.
Jason Terry up, waving a towel around, trying to get the crowd going, and they love the energy. Mahinmi at the offensive end, Beaubois at the defensive end. Nice team effort so far for the Mavericks. They've got an 11-point lead on the Spurs midway through the second. Dallas is playing with a lot of energy, and the Mavericks have a 13-point lead now. Largest of the game.
And a lot of their points over the latter stages of this quarter here coming in the paint. Offensive rebound putbacks. They've now doubled up the Spurs points in the paint, 16-8.
Duncan, and gets the soft touch on the rim. Duncan now 4 for 6, 8 points. He's the high scorer for the Spurs. Vince Carter leads all scorers with a dozen. Lamar Odom with a jumper.
Just looks like it's coming with him, doesn't it? He looks more engaged.
Parker the drive and fouled by Beaubois. San Antonio wants the basket as well. Don't think they're going to get it. Let's listen into the last timeout with Greg Popovich.
Cut, play. You just like something magical is going to happen. Okay? You got to make things happen. Let's score here and let's go get some stops.
To me, that's the difference in the ball game. Dallas is making things happen with the work they're doing on the glass. The Spurs sort of hoping something's going to happen.
You can think of so many different Dallas players, whether it's Marion, Beaubois, Mahinmi, Terry, who have played with great energy. As an injured Manu Ginobili looks on for the bench here in Dallas. San Antonio, remember, beat Dallas by 22 in San Antonio a few weeks ago. Dallas trying to return the favor here tonight. Marion the screen, Beaubois free for the jumper. And Jefferson the save for the Spurs. He and one of the officials go tumbling on the baseline into the seats as Parker is fouled by Carter. As Carter is first.
Foul number 25, Vince Carter. That's his first, the 14th.
And right now, really, Doris, it's Parker and Duncan who are getting it done at the offensive end for San Antonio. Not much else going on.
And Tony has actually touched the paint off his dribble drives a lot and created quality shots. They're just not making them.
Terry in, Odom out. That'll lead all kinds of switching on the court now for Dallas. They're so versatile with so many guys who can play multiple positions. Driving on Haywood. Green the tip, but into the hands of Carter. Beaubois starting for the injured kid. The kick to Carter. Off to a big start tonight. 2 more for Vince. 14 in the game.
What? Tell you what. Again, Beaubois gets into the paint. The first thing you think of with Beaubois is speed. With or without the ball. And sets up a quality look.
Trying to stay with Parker. That Carter got a piece of that as well at the defensive end. Jefferson on the drive. challenged by Carter, but fouled by Carter, who's going to plead his case that it was all ball. Second on Carter.
Well, that's making something happen. Let's see. The two former teammates go at it. Wow. I don't know.
Carter, who just turned 35, played 3 years with Jefferson, as you said, Doris, in New Jersey.
Okay, let's see. I mean, it's got to be the body. It's not the ball. It's got to be the physical contact below the shoulders.
Every now and again, he can still get up there. Jefferson struggling at the line. Not a whole lot going right now for the visitors. San Antonio just 4 of 10 from the free throw line. Marion averaging 18 a game his last 6. What a wild shot, and the rebound down to Duncan. Jefferson, the extra pass. Leonard rejected. Shot clock at 10. Haywood got all of that, didn't he? Leonard, Duncan, and draws a foul with a nice little shot fake.
Well, Haywood has been terrific, and I think he's a guy who's more comfortable as a starter, and he's going to make Kawhi Leonard a little bit uncomfortable. This is just good stuff, and this is the value of a guy who can protect the rim right there, because that's a pretty good drive between bodies.
Leonard got through 2, but could not get through the third and most imposing defender in Brendan Haywood. Duncan makes the first. Dirk Nowitzki's coming back in for Dallas. Vince Carter will get a big ovation as he comes out.
You know, as bad as it's been, and San Antonio has missed so many makeable shots, whether it's the jump hook right by Tim Duncan or the wide open threes that Parker has helped create. You know, you're down 12.
They're shooting only 33% tonight. Boy. Every bit of the rim used in that effort from Tim Duncan. San Antonio's also just 1 of 7 from three-point range. Terry dumps it down. Haywood with the finish.
Terry's just been sensational. He's a change of pace guy off that screen and roll, and he understands they're going to commit to him defensively. Good little dump down.
Good deep position by Blair. No look bounce pass. Leonard has to bring it back out. Pick ball.
Well, watch the pass. 2 commit, and that leaves a diving Brendan Haywood who starts at the free throw line. Nicely done.
Shot clock reset to 14. After the kickball, 9 different players have now scored for Dallas after that bucket by Haywood. Neal. Well, what it would mean to the Spurs if Neal could get back to the form that he displayed last year as a rookie. Terry, bounce pass to the cutting Marion. Pretty basketball.
Say this, you know, the threes he used to make in transition in Phoenix, but that floater is also something he made consistently in transition.
Jason Terry drawing so much attention. Making a nice pass to Marion. The lead is 15. Parker for 3. They desperately needed that. Beaubois, the pull-up. Haywood is fouled.
Well, that's tough to take. You know, you give him all kinds of cushion because he's not making shots, and then you give up an offensive rebound.
The veterans are getting it done tonight for the Dallas Mavericks. Jason Terry off the bench has had a terrific game, scoring, distributing as well. Vince Carter lighting it up for a game-high 14, and Sean Marion with the floater. Dallas by a dozen.
2-4-6.
3-game swing, pretty porous defensively.
Brendan Haywood, 49% at the line. Coming Coming up at the Toyota halftime show, we'll go back to the studio in L.A. Michael Wilbon, Magic Johnson, John Barry, and Chris Broussard as the Heat survive the Bulls and the Lakers on the road again, where it has been a real struggle so far this season.
What are they, 1-7?
I believe so, yeah. A lot of games going on here on Sunday evening. The guys will update you on all of them and look back at the Miami win over Chicago earlier today, a game you saw on ABC. Jefferson to Duncan. Another rejection by Hayward.
They do such a good job of second and third efforts. Multiple helps. So one guy helps, the next guy slides over to help the helper.
Their defensive numbers really are outstanding. They're giving up under 90 points per game this year, the Mavericks. That is 4th best in the NBA. Still 7 to shoot. Beaubois. Tipped away by Blair. A rare chance to run for the Spurs, and Jefferson will finish and draw the foul.
They've been good in transition, Dan. They're well over a point per game. In fact, second in the league in conversions on possessions in transition. Good little 2-on-1, and Blair, a pretty good passer. We saw him make the no-look in a half-court set with his back to the basket. Risley gives it up here.
The foul was called on Beaubois, his second. Crowd didn't like the call. Jefferson steps to the line. And they continue to hurt themselves on the free throw line. Now 6 of 13. Jefferson is 0 for 3 from the line tonight. 61% on the season. Funny how a guy can be such a good three-point shooter and struggle at the free throw line. Marion. Beaubois thought about the three. Going to have to get something going here. Knocks it down. A long 2 with a hand in his face and the shot clock running down.
Now, when they go onto the screen, the guy's not even close on his jump shot. That time, you know, under duress of the shot clock, you don't have time to think about it, stress about it, just shoot it.
Roderick Beaubois becoming a factor the last couple of weeks when the Mavericks needed him because of the injuries. Neal. Well, they're having to work hard for every inch of the court here tonight. Another listen in to Greg Popovich.
Let's get this thing down to 7 or 8 before the quarter's over with. Try to use your head a little bit. We need to take good shots.
Well, it's not 7 or 8, and he's been unhappy with the shots in the offense the entire game. That's been the prevailing theme for Greg Popovich tonight.
Some made free throws, and that's a number that would have been, you know, doable. And I heard JB talking about this. I think it was about a week ago, maybe last weekend's games. You know, the lack of guys making free throws in critical situations.
Neal knocks down a couple to cut the deficit to 11. Vince Carter's back into the game for Dallas. Terry. Blair corrals the rebound. San Antonio can get it down to single digits.
Now, Dallas obviously going to get 2 for 1 in that situation.
Blair got it back. Nowitzki didn't know where the ball was, and Blair lays it in. The Spurs catch a break. Foul to give for San Antonio here in the closing seconds. Nowitzki, Blair, Nowitzki over him for the tough jumper. Vintage Dirk. 2 seconds to go. And Jefferson won't get it off in time.
That was actually a pretty good D by Dewan. He had quick hands. He's trying to force him into a tough shot. I mean, listen, you are down in a stance. You're trying to make it tough on Dirk if you're Dewan Blair. Let's take a look at this. I mean, listen, he's sitting down in the stance. He's slapping at the ball. He's trying to make it tough. Actually pokes it loose. And then Dirk being Dirk. Tough shot after tough shot.
Now the crowd really liking the effort for the Mavericks here in the first half. Gave them a huge ovation as they went off the court. And why not? Dallas is playing well. Vince Carter having a big first half. He's got 14 points. The Mavericks lead the Spurs at the break. The Toyota halftime show with Michael Wilbon and the gang is coming up from Los Angeles after these messages. At halftime here in Dallas, the Mavericks lead the Spurs 51-40.
Now at tonight's Lens Crafters Court Vision, and it's Vince Carter.
He might not be a headliner and a guy that's going to carry it through the playoffs by himself, but as a team trying to defend its title, boy, he can give you some punch off the bench on any given night. This is a guy whose jump shot is still pretty fluid. The continuation a bit long, but they'll take it. But I thought they were just more aggressive, more assertive, making plays at the basket. All half was Dallas.
6 for 8 in the first half for Vince Carter. 14 points, already well over his season average. For San Antonio, they went long stretches without scoring, and they relied on their veterans as well. And Tim Duncan had some good moments scoring the ball in the first half.
Coming in, Dan, just 2 and 7 on the road. Generating points has been a problem. And obviously, you're going to go through Tim Duncan when he's on the floor. You've got to use his minutes efficiently and go through him when you can. And on the low block, working against a variety of different defenders, we saw some vintage Tim. A little lean one way, get the defender cooking, and then you go back the other way. The face-up jump shot worked for him, and not surprisingly, their veterans led the way.
Although Parker did not shoot the ball well, San Antonio as a team shot only 36% in the first half. Dallas shot 52%. San Antonio also missed 7 out of its 15 free throws. In some ways, and you mentioned this in the second quarter, in some ways they've got to feel fortunate to only be down 11 points right now.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, you know, and again, first quarter I thought they missed some makeable shots. In the second quarter, that 36% field goal stand I thought was influenced by the Dallas defense.
And that bench for Dallas, the highest scoring bench in the NBA on the season at better than 44 points per game. They've got 18 tonight, including 8 from Jason Terry, who also had 4 assists in the first half. He really gave them his typical spark. And we are underway here in the second half with a burst of speed from Roderick Beaubois. Tony Parker trying to stay with him. Carter really got going early in this game. Into Marion, back to Carter. And the jumper short, but an offensive rebound for Haywood and a fresh 24 for the Mavs. Beaubois, they're almost daring him to shoot. Parker going under every screen, Doris.
And by a wide margin.
Yeah. Parker looked like he got a shot in the mouth on that play. It was reaching up to his lip or his teeth as if to see if he were bleeding. Duncan thought about it. Leonard will do more than that and hit it from the baseline.
They're playing Beaubois the way they used to play Tony Parker.
And again, Parker's gotten to know Beaubois. Beaubois from Guadeloupe, eligible to play for France internationally. They'll be teammates on their Olympic team. Marion backing down Jefferson. And Haywood over the back with a loose ball foul. Number 2 on Brendan Haywood. Sometimes the big guy just gets the foul call no matter what happens, whether he did or he didn't. Tough being 7 feet.
That sounds like a frustrated big guy right there.
Boy, a lot of congestion on the weak side of the court right now. Finally, Duncan comes across. Good D by Haywood. Then the blind save, but he stepped out of bounds first, so that'll turn it back over to San Antonio.
Now digging in defensively. This is the length of Haywood and his ability with those long arms to just reach out. And on the up fake.
And the officials have ruled that Haywood having the ball in his, or they're talking about it now. Did Haywood have possession? They've put 24 back up on the shot clock, meaning that Haywood did actually have possession of the ball, and that's going to be the ruling. So instead of having about 5 seconds, San Antonio gets 24. Parker the jumper. Blair keeps it alive, but Marion has it for Dallas. The Mavericks getting Dirk Nowitzki back tonight, getting Delonte West back tonight, still without Jason Kidd. San Antonio still without Manu Ginobili. Leonard, some good chest-to-chest defense on Carter. Marion for 3. Missed a couple in the first half. That's his 11th three this season. As we mentioned earlier, he hit only 8 combined his last 2 years. Between Marion and Terry and Carter and Duncan, the veterans have really come to play. They're producing tonight. Parker the jumper. A little bit strong. Duncan the rebound. Marion the steal. Driving on Jefferson. Doesn't get the bounce. And it'll be Spurs ball.
Well, he just looks so healthy, doesn't he? His legs, the activity that we came to know him for in Phoenix. And once on the dribble drive, you got some help down from Richard Jefferson. The three was easy for Sean Marion. He had plenty of space, a screen and roll at the top. You commit on Vince, you don't stay attached. And Marion looks tremendous from three.
Tony Parker and Tim Duncan have been teammates for 11 years. And before the game tonight, Tony Parker got to reminiscing a little bit about playing with Duncan.
Last night we went to dinner with TD, and they were saying on TV that with the two guys who played the most together, like 752 games. So we was just joking how many pick and rolls we did together, and so we was like, who we have to beat? And we were just thinking like that, and it was like, yeah, maybe John Stockton and Karl Malone. Maybe they're the two who played the most together, because 750 games, that's a lot of games playing together. So I just feel lucky and privileged, because my first 2 years I arrived, he was 2 times MVP, and he was just playing great basketball, and then he wasn't selfish enough to let me grow as a player, and me and Manu to let us become all-stars and winning championships together.
And you talked about that, Doris, the dignity that Duncan has now as his role is gradually reduced, but go back 6, 7, 8 years, and what Tony Parker said, he was unselfish enough to let Parker and Ginobili grow and become part of a championship team, and Parker was partially right. Only Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher, among active teammates, have played more games together than Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. And I think he's probably also right that Stockton and Malone probably had a few more pick and rolls together than Parker and Duncan did.
I would say 82 games every trip up the floor, where it wasn't a transition opportunity.
Blair right into the chest of Dirk Nowitzki, the power of DeJuan Blair.
When you're undersized, that's exactly what you have to do. By going into his chest in, you've taken away any space and length advantage he has. You just create space with your power.
Kind of an up and down year for DeJuan Blair, and Greg Popovich said to him just yesterday, just be who you are. Don't try to be something you're not, and this is who DeJuan Blair is.
Yeah, he has a knack for scoring over bigger players. A little bit more difficult at this level, but right into the chest, as you said, it backs Dirk up and allows him some freedom.
He's working hard on D, too, having to defend Nowitzki the whole game. Every time Nowitzki comes back in off the bench, Blair comes back in off the bench. Kawhi Leonard. And a block from behind. I think it was Carter. Beaubois with a little bit of room. Tried to dump it down to Haywood, and a foul on the inside.
Do you know how Rajon Rondo has mastered the art of using his speed? Rodrigue Beaubois has got to figure that out as well. And one of the things that Rondo did when teams went under him in the screen and roll, is he allowed his speed and momentum to get him places on the floor. You'd like to see Beaubois do something similar.
Terry in for Marion. Jason Terry, we asked him who's quicker, him or Beaubois. And he said now, you know, Terry's getting up in years a little bit. He might give a slight edge to Beaubois, but the Jet says that the young Jet still would have won the race against Beaubois. Boy, big time collision, and Blair hits the court hard. And is called for the foul, adding insult to injury.
Dirk fired up now. He went over and slapped the hand of his teammate because of the physical play he's absorbed. So giving a little of his own back. Yeah, it's a little battle there. This has been fun to watch.
6'6", 265, DeJuan Blair against the 7-footer and future Hall of Famer, Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk may get his numbers tonight, but he's going to be bruised by the end of it. Vince Carter bruising the Spurs, 17 tonight. A big night for Carter. Jefferson can't answer. Rebound Blair. Juan Blair with 8 rebounds already in the game. Leonard the drive. And Nowitzki with a rebound in traffic. Terry baseline. Carter again.
Heat
Might
check.
have been a heat check. I was just going to say. We've all seen him, and that might have been it right there.
I think that Mr. Beaubois and Mr. Carter need to remember Dirk.
Yeah.
Because I think Dirk will get frustrated before too long if he doesn't get some shots.
Nowitzki tonight has returned after missing 4 games with a sore right knee. 21 minutes, 2 of 4 from the field for a quiet 4 points. Parker for 3. Blair, the offensive rebound, can't finish. Always has been a good rivalry, and even though it's a double-digit game, look at the physicality and the intensity here, especially between Blair and Nowitzki, as Terry knocks down a 15-footer.
You can see that one coming, Dan.
Blair could not catch up with the pass from Parker.
He has been so physical all game long with Dirk, and Dirk trying to be as physical back. And this frustration maybe with 4 field goal attempts and this kind of physical contact, you can hear the crowd getting involved and thinking their superstars taking a pounding.
They go under the screen again, and this time Beaubois makes them pay. Largest lead of the night for the Mavericks. Clear out for Duncan, banging with Hayward. And Duncan with a spinning fadeaway off the glass, about the only shot he could get up and over the outstretched arm of Brendan Hayward. Beaubois, he'll take another one. The teams are going to continue to dare him to shoot until he can consistently knock down those jumpers. Got to respect that quickness. Just like you have to do with this guy. Parker to Jefferson. Look at Beaubois get up there for the rebound. "23 years of age, 3rd year in the league. A lot of foot injuries the last couple of years. Terry. Beaubois. Misses the 3. And it's Dallas ball. Subs for the Mavs. Odom for Nowitzki. West for Beaubois. And Marion back into the game as well for Carter. Terry wide open. Followed by Hayward. Followed by Odom. Odom again. And they'll reset. But they're just quicker to the ball, Doris.
Have been all night.
Yep. Terry got it. Jefferson for 3. Keep in mind, Dallas started the year 0-3. They're 12-5 since. And that's with injuries to Vince Carter, Jason Kidd, Delonte West, Dirk Nowitzki, Terry again.
Yeah, but their depth is crucial to their success. I mean, you know, you change the speed with West being in the ballgame instead of Beaubois, but you get some toughness.
Parker, did he travel? A 3-second call. I'll tell you, Jason Terry does as good a job as a cheerleader as he does as a player. He is into it. He is engaged.
He can multitask. He specializes in it.
Got 14 points. He's high-fiving fans and whipping them into a frenzy, waving a towel around, trying to get them cheering.
I'll tell you what, I'd sign him right now if I were ESPN to a contract, because his personality is tremendous.
For whenever he stops playing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Odom guarded by Bonner. West. Terry again. Wow. What a third quarter here for Jason Terry. Eight already this quarter off the bench. Thiago Splitter. Blocked by Haywood. His 5th block of the night. What a complete effort for Dallas at both ends of the court.
Well, they're showing you everything. Their defense, they're showing you their depth, their scoring prowess with Jason Terry. And think about this. I mean, Dirk has 4 field goal attempts. Is that right?
Yeah, Nowitzki 2 for 4 on the night at 23 minutes. Yeah. Limited minutes from West, no minutes at all from Kidd. Dominique Jones into the game for the first time for Dallas tonight as Gary Neal lays one in. Jones, Terry, West, Mahimi, and Odom on the floor for Dallas. Odom for 3.
I know he missed that shot, but he just looks livelier than the first several games he played with the Mavs.
And a season high 19 Friday night. Neal. Also into the game for San Antonio now, James Anderson. Greg Popovich going a little bit deeper into the bench as San Antonio begins a stretch of 4 games in 5 nights here tonight. Rick Carlisle will use a timeout. Jason Terry might do most of the talking. His game has been speaking large to us on the court tonight.
Just so fast. The floater, the long-range shot, name it. He can mix speeds, get in the lane. Paint points have been a big part of the Mavs.
ESPN.
NBA Sunday on ESPN. The Mavericks leading by 16 in large part due to the efforts off the bench of the Jet, Jason Terry.
Well, this is his version of the tarmac because this is where he sits and idles and gets prepared to play. And then once he steps on the floor, the Jet engines are roaring. The little mid-range off the dribble drive, a high screen and roll, pull it back, get some space. Attack the rim, adjust the body against that length inside, mix the body. I mean, you know, how many times have we seen him navigate with the dribble through traffic?
20 minutes tonight, 8 of 11 from the floor, 16 points, 1 shy of Vince Carter's game-high 17. Jones trapped. San Antonio forces a turnover. And Green bumped by Terry. You could see right away coming out of that timeout that Greg Popovich turned him loose, wanted some pressure. Got a second unit in there, Splitter, Bonner, Green, Neal, and James Anderson. There's the discussion whether it is a clear path foul, perhaps.
Yep.
So the officials, that's Bill Kennedy, number 55 there, going to put the headset on and look at the replay. Had the ball in the backcourt. Did he have an unimpeded path? Was he ahead of the defender? I don't know that you can make the case there that he was ahead of the defender.
He's side by side there.
Yeah.
No.
And the difference would be 2 in the ball or just ball on the side. So a big call.
You think so? I don't think so.
Danny Green coming up with the steal, and then Terry with the foul right there, but he's right side by side with him. And the officials, we're told, have asked for another look, so we're showing them another one here from our truck.
I mean, to me, it doesn't seem, that there should be this much discussion. He doesn't have a step on him at any point, right? They're side by side. No, yeah, I think he just signaled no. There's no clear path.
So the explanation given to Greg Popovich, no clear path foul. Pop seems fine with it. It'll be San Antonio ball on the side after all that.
I like the opportunity to use the monitor to get it correct. Obviously, you hope that they're as expedient as possible. We see it a lot on the college game.
As long as the defender is ahead of the man with the ball and has a chance, it says in the rule book, to position himself between the ball and the basket, there is no clear path foul. It certainly looked like Jason Terry was in that kind of a position. James Anderson. Anderson, second-year player out of Oklahoma State, a guy who battled through a lot of injuries last year, played well when given the chance, has lost what precious few minutes he had this year to the likes of Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. Odom cross-court look, Terry. Now West. And a hustle play there by Dominique Jones.
They couldn't make another mistake. We went to break after that under 3. He got ripped. Carlisle had to use a timeout because he came off the bench not prepared to play and not in the right spot.
Odom picked up his dribble, 5 to shoot. Mahimi will have to make a play. And the rebound down to the Spurs. Maybe a little run here for San Antonio. Their defense has been better the last little while. Bonner for 3. It's down to 11 all of a sudden. Big stretch here, don't you think, the next minute 20?
No question. Great teams always close quarters strong.
Terry gets around Green. Floater over Splitter.
They haven't had an answer for him. This explosive first step. He's so decisive when he catches the basketball. He's not waiting for a defender to react. He's making them sort of react to what he's doing.
34 years of age. If he's lost a step, it's a small one. He's got a game-high 18. Neal crushed in his attempt to lay it in. Mahimi and West were both there. That's 9 blocks tonight now, credited to the Dallas Mavericks. 7 on the shot clock. Now the starters looking on from the San Antonio bench. Green baseline, found some room, left it short. Dallas ball. West pushing. Terry again. Might be the cleanest look he's had tonight. Used to more traffic. Anderson. Inside, Green, followed by Splitter.
Found a give here by the Spurs. Do they use it?
And there is the foul to give. Danny Green picks it up, his first. 8 seconds to go, and it'll be Dallas ball on the side. Kawhi Leonard back in for the Spurs. Roderick Beaubois checks back in for the Mavericks.
You get it to Terry and let him go screen and roll with Lamar Odom.
Terry work now to 4 seconds. Terry gets it off. Good defense there by San Antonio, and they do close the third quarter with a little bit of momentum, a 12-6 run to cut a 17-point deficit down to 11. 2 big stories for Dallas that have gotten them this lead. Vince Carter's got 17, a season high. Jason Terry's got 18, a game high. Dallas by 11 going to the 4th.
Carlisle, they closed that on a 12-6 run, maybe getting a little momentum. How do you get it back?
Play better, guard them better. Bonner got a 3. They penetrated. This is a team that's going to take advantage if you lose concentration, and we got to get it back.
Offensively, only 33% in that quarter. Anything different there?
Make shots. I mean, you know, we had some good looks, and we forced some others when they got more aggressive. They're going to pick it up. We got to pick it up.
Rick, thanks. Dan.
Jason Terry's doing his job. He's making shots. 9-14, 18 points. Dirk Nowitzki's back into the game. A very quiet 22 minutes in his return after missing 4 games. And this unit for San Antonio, Green, Neal, Splitter, Bonner, Anderson, kind of an unlikely group. They've given the Spurs a spark here. Bonner off to Neal. 3 to shoot. Got it.
Wow.
Deep 3 for Neal, and all of a sudden it's down to 8.
Maybe finding himself after a very solid season a year ago.
Appendectomy during the preseason cost him some time. Still getting his legs back underneath him. Terry coming off a screen, left it short, tips it out to Carter. Terry again. Now Rick Carlisle wasn't happy at the end of the 3rd quarter. Another make here, and he's going to be much more unhappy than he already is. Splitter, no. Anderson and Splitter try to save it. They both wind up out of bounds, and here come the Mavericks. Carter open for 3. And Splitter hustling back, doing a good job to come up with a defensive rebound. Danny Green. It is a 5-point game. At one point, Dallas led by 18. They led by 17 late in the 3rd quarter.
15-2 run, all by this group, Dan. As you mentioned, they're faster to the ball than the first unit was.
So the Mavericks go to Nowitzki. High arcing jumper. 6 for Dirk. The lead is 7.
He was waiting for that opportunity.
Neal in and out on the 3. All of a sudden the Spurs are quicker to the ball. Danny Green with the rebound and the finish. This unit has given them energy that they have not had all night long. The crowd trying to rally the Mavericks now. Here's Carter. Splitter ahead to Neal. The Spurs roaring back into this game. Anderson, another 3. Timeout, Dallas. It was an 18-point lead late in the 3rd. Doris, it's down to 2.
Well, and he's riding the group that got them at least a little bit closer. They've had more energy. They've made more shots, out hustling Dallas. What Dallas did to them in the first half, they are turning now. The Spurs with the momentum, and now they're making threes.
Hey, Wednesday night, ESPN has an NBA doubleheader. It begins at 8 Eastern. The Thunder is here to take on the Dallas Mavericks at 8 Eastern, at 10:30 Eastern, the Clippers and the Jazz. The NBA on ESPN, ESPN3, and also streaming live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. Doris, it's a 20-4 run for San Antonio from the end of the 3rd through to the beginning of the 4th, knocking down threes all over the place. And Greg Popovich stays with this unit. Nowitzki banging with Splitter. In and out. Green tips it to keep it alive. And improbably, San Antonio can tie or take the lead. Anderson's hit a 3. Neal's hit a 3. Green's hit a 3. Hits another one. They've got the lead.
9 for 16, 23 points for this bench unit in the 2nd half.
You know, a few minutes ago, it looked like Pop was keeping Duncan and some of the others out because the game was out of hand and they've got a game tomorrow. Now, how do you take these guys off the floor? You've got his veterans on the bench still because this group's playing so well. Watch live NBA games wherever you are. One price gets you the most NBA action plus free mobile access anytime, anywhere. Go to NBA.com/League Pass to learn more.
Now, is this a hard decision for a coach where you just stay with this unit?
Yeah.
Or as you get underneath the 3-minute mark, do you go back with your veteran guys?
Splitter working hard against Nowitzki. DIRK another miss. Sanderson the rebound. All San Antonio right now on a 23-4 run. Bonner for three. Unbelievable. Another timeout for Dallas.
Wow.
They've hit 5 threes this quarter, and 4 different players have hit them.
Now their spacing has been tremendous. They played with great energy, and good things happen. Just keep playing. It's not magic, as Greg Popovich said in the first half. They're shooting it magically.
I'm Dan Schulman. All San Antonio. They've hit 5 threes this quarter to outscore the Mavericks 17-2. Here in the fourth, they were once down 18 late in the third. They're up 4 right now. Rick Carlisle's burning through his timeouts and not getting any better results. Carter hot early. He's cooled off. Baseline drive for Carter, and he'll head to the foul line. Here's Greg Popovich in the last huddle.
Everybody got to rotate, rebound, it's pace going back. It's attack, attack, attack. That's all it is.
Well, they've done that. You know, the energy and effort getting to the basketball. How many times has Danny Green been around the rebound on both ends, defense and offense?
And as Carter knocks down the first, it's been this group: Bonner, Splitter, Green, Anderson, and Neal, who have been in the game for this entire run by the Spurs. No Duncan, no Parker, no Jefferson. Neal looking for help, stolen by Carter. Nearly stolen back by Anderson. Nowitzki's open. Beaubois finds Nowitzki. Extra pass, Marion. Off the glass, too strong. Kept alive. Marion again. Carter, Marion wide open. And down with another rebound. This time it's Gary Neal. Dallas just 1 for 9 from the floor this quarter. No basket. And the foul on Jan Mahimi, just now getting to his feet, Matt Bonner.
And makeable shots. I mean, that's an uncontested three that they were making in the first half.
And Rick Carlisle's going to make some changes to try to stem the tide here. Mahimi will go out, Haywood back in, and Jason Terry returns as well. He's been the best Maverick in the second half. Maybe he's been the best Maverick on the night.
You can tell Dirk shaking off some rust. I mean, this guy is a creature of habit.
Now Lamar Odom. And Nowitzki goes to the bench. Jefferson, Duncan, and the others, they've been on the bench for a long time, but hard to argue with what the group on the floor has done. Anderson to Bonner, and the Red Rocket makes it a 4-point lead for the Spurs.
Good cut by the Rocket.
Used to seeing him launching threes more than putting the ball on the deck and driving to the rim. You get the feeling Terry's got to be the guy. And he draws the foul.
I was surprised he gave it up the first time because Splitter was on him and you knew he could get past him.
Third on Splitter. 2 free throws coming for Terry. Let's take a look at the NBA national television big board. A full slate of games across NBA networks on NBA TV tomorrow. Chicago to Washington at 7, then the Thunder and Clippers at 10:30. Wednesday here on ESPN, Oklahoma City is here against Dallas. The Clippers are in Salt Lake. And Thursday on TNT, the Bulls and the Knicks, followed by the Nuggets and the Clippers. For more on these games, please log on to NBA.com. Timeout on the floor. Game on here in Dallas after this incredible run by San Antonio. They have roared back into the lead, up by 2 over the Mavericks. 6:43 to go in the fourth. A reminder that coverage of the Winter X Games from Aspen is coming up immediately following the conclusion of our game. The featured event tonight, Snowmobile Best Trick. And the best trick tonight here in Dallas for the visitors, Doris, has been knocking down threes. And I mean, everybody's been in on the act.
Well, 28 points from the bench. Danny Green continues to play at a high level. Gary Neal has made some shots. Matt Bonner has made shots. They have contributed 28 points in the second half after going an anemic 1 for 9 in the first half.
So 8 threes in the second half, 9 threes in the game for the Spurs, knocked down by 6 different players. And from 18 down late in the third, San Antonio has the ball in a 2-point lead. And the same group stays in the game for the Spurs. And why not? Gary Neal. Followed by Tiago Splitter.
Swag, you know, just get to the paint. Doesn't matter how you get there. Get to the paint, force help. The rotation by Haywood. That's the second time Splitter has easy opportunities.
Jason Terry. Splitter got a piece of it. Anderson's got it. The San Antonio bench has scored the Spurs' last 30 points in this game. They have been entirely responsible for this run. Neal. Another 3. The bench explodes for the Spurs. All the starters up and cheering on the bench guys who have done an incredible job. And Rick Carlisle is going to call another timeout.
You know, Gary Neal, as you said, it's been a little bit of a slow process coming back from that appendicitis, but a guy who played great last year, maybe getting his confidence in his legs, and up 7.
Look at you.
And the flying tomato, they call it.
Look at you.
The flying tomato.
The Mavericks have not had a field goal in 5 minutes. They just turned it over again. Neal with Green. And Neal banks it home. Don't know if he meant to, but he did. And this unit, Neal, Anderson, Green, Splitter, Bonner, continues to dominate the Dallas Mavericks.
Now listen, right when we went to the break, Popovich had Tony Parker up and off the bench and then pulled him back in.
Jason Terry gets into the lane and knocks down another one. Terry with 22.
Does Dirk get it going here in the fourth? This is typically his time where they get him at the elbow.
Splitter, such an improved player this year at both ends of the court. Slips inside Haywood, but too strong off the glass. Beaubois using another screen, lays it in. Rodrigue Beaubois.
See what I mean about his speed? I mean, he's got Rondo-like speed. Just change it, and then when you make that move, go right as assertively as you can.
Anderson turns the corner, needs some help, finds Neal. Neal the floater.
Wow.
For all intents and purposes, if you weren't with us for a little bit, it looked like Greg Popovich had waved the white flag. He was going to rest the veterans for the game tomorrow night at Memphis. And then this second unit, and some of these guys are deep on the second unit, got the team right back into it and ahead. And now Greg Popovich is leaving them in there for a different reason, because they're playing great. Terry, desperately needed make for the Mavericks.
To your point, Papa said, listen. Wow.
Gary Neal, another 3. 13 points this quarter for Gary Neal. And Matt Bonner just fouled Brendan Haywood.
So the old hack-a-shack routine.
Just the 4th team foul, though, but that is enough to get Haywood out of the game. Yana Mahimi's going to come back in.
But to your point, Papa's been blatant saying, listen, I will concede one battle to win another couple. So that's what it was his thinking initially. Now he's got a game.
Terry stripped by Green. Here comes Anderson. Danny Green trying to back down Terry. Now Splitter. One-on-one with Nowitzki. And Nowitzki stays with it, comes out with the ball. Mahinmi limping on his way up the court. DIRK. And Splitter acted like he got pushed in the back there. And we are going to have a loose ball foul, a push on Mahinmi. His third. Boy, you just never could have seen this coming.
Nope.
It was 67-49 Dallas late in the third. The bench has scored 40 points in the second half for San Antonio. And they are the last 40 points that the team has. James Anderson rejected by Marion, and it is Dallas ball.
Now does Pop make a substitution? He's just looking down the end of the bench. Tony Parker's got a smile. He's intrigued to see, can this group pull it off?
I wonder if Greg Popovich has ever had a game like this.
Yeah.
Where he has stayed with this kind of a group all the way to the end because of the way they were playing. Bonner hustles for the rebound. Boy, crowd is angry with the officials here in Dallas as well. Vince Carter getting set to check back in for the Mavericks.
Tony Parker is on his knees, like actively engaged, pulling for these guys.
Neal so hot in the fourth. Not this time. Splitter down with the rebound and draws the foul. Look at the starters. They are loving this. Look at the smile on Jefferson's face and the smile on Parker's face. Even Duncan's got a little smirk going.
I'm really curious because I'm telling you, Parker was off the bench. You think Parker said go back? Coach, maybe, hey, these guys are playing, let them play? Or did Pop say, come on back?
Danny Green, Gary Neal, James Anderson, Thiago Splitter, Matt Bonner have scored the last 40 points for San Antonio. They have been in the game as a unit since late in the third. Neal, stolen away by Beaubois. Beaubois turning Bonner round and round. Green with great hustle to block it out of bounds.
Greg Popovich, incensed, thought there was a foul on the other end. Great hustle by Green.
Time most definitely a factor now for the Dallas Mavericks. Terry has a chance for a three-point play.
He's been at times their only and best option in the second half. DIRK has not been DIRK in his first game back after a 9-day hiatus, and the Jet has carried them.
A season high 27 now for Jason Terry. And a timeout with 1:22 to go. The Spurs looking for a big win on the road here tonight. Popovich calling a timeout, diagramming a play. The Spurs up by 4 over the Mavericks. X Games coverage, Winter X Games coverage from Aspen coming up as soon as this game is over, including the always popular and exciting snowboard pipe event that is next here on ESPN. More coming your way tomorrow night. A great college basketball doubleheader. It's Big Monday on ESPN. The Backyard Brawl. No love lost between Pitt and West Virginia. That's at 7 Eastern. And a nice Big 12 matchup. Missouri and Texas at 9 Eastern. Big Monday presented by Bud Light. The story here tonight, an improbable comeback by the San Antonio Spurs with this group on the floor. Bonner, Splitter, Neal, Anderson, Green. The starters have been glued to the bench since midway through the third quarter. And this bench unit has hit 3 after 3 after 3 to turn an 18-point deficit into a 4-point lead late. Splitter driving on Nowitzki, doesn't get the bounce. Beaubois, Terry, Carter, Marion, Nowitzki for the Mavericks. DIRK is open. Good recovery by Splitter. Carter, the kick to Beaubois. The floater, got it.
Good job. He didn't settle for the jumper, which has been inconsistent. You want to win ball games, get high percentage shots.
Into the final minute of regulation, Danny Green at the point for San Antonio. Sharing the duties with Neal, but Green doing a lot of the ball handling. Anderson out there as well. Who's going to get the look? None of these guys used to be in the go-to guy late. Splitter is fouled and finishes.
And Tony Parker and the bench loving it. They stayed space. The ball kept moving. Bodies kept moving. Splitter had the tough drive on the last possession. Couldn't get it to go. Good little drop pass right there. That is pretty, Dan.
Playing with so much more confidence than he did a year ago. Missed the free throw. Still time for Dallas. Beaubois. Got another one to knock it down to 2. 5.5-second difference, 6 seconds maybe between the game clock and shot clock. Greg Popovich telling Gary Neal, look at the clock, use the clock.
Well, they come with a screen. Yep, here comes Splitter.
Neal the drive. Nowitzki got him from behind. They're going to play it out. Terry ties the game. Jason Terry ties the game.
You love this. You don't call a timeout. You don't give Pop a chance to get the defense settled. And how about Jason Terry? Over his career, the Jet, big shot after big shot. The bench says, yes, sir, that's our guy.
Papa John. Fourth quarter here in Dallas. Jason Terry making a huge shot to tie the game with half a second to go in regulation. It's San Antonio ball. 0.5 to go.
And you can catch and shoot.
Yep, you can catch and shoot more than 0.3. They do have a timeout. Same unit on the floor. Danny Green wins it. You would guess they will review it to see if he got it off in time. But with the naked eye, live, Doris, it looked like Danny Green got the shot off in time. The crowd has just seen a replay. The officials are going to the monitor right now. The Mavericks are going to their bench. The Spurs are going to theirs. Wow. With the replay, I'm not so sure. We're talking about 1/10 of a second one way or the other. Did he get it out of his hand before the clock went to 0? Wow.
Man. Man, that's close. So what was the ruling initially? Did anyone raise their hands there?
I think it's still in his hand. With that look there, I think it's still in his hand, still on his fingertips.
Yep.
There, you can see, boy, you're talking about hundredths of a second. Yeah, still on his fingertips, and the red light is on around the basket. No basket.
Yeah.
No basket. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ruling is no basket. We're going to overtime. What a phenomenal basketball game. Green made the shot, but less than 1/10 of a second after the expiration of regulation time. And after that furious, huge comeback by San Antonio, Jason Terry hits the late shot that winds up forcing overtime. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like this. This bench unit doing what they did, Dallas rallying, and now the Spurs have to gather themselves for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, and